Hello, I'm JForceG, and in this video we will be modeling a low poly head. I'm assuming you know a little bit about navigation, but just in case, I'll go through that really quickly right now. Middle mouse button is to rotate and kind of orbit around. Shift middle mouse button is to go up or down or left and right. And of course, to zoom in, you can use the mouse wheel and zoom out. Alright, so I'm going to press Shift A to add a cube. Now, what we're going to do is press Tab to go into edit mode, and then Control R to loop cut. Click in again. And we have now did the first thing. Yay! Now I'm going to go into our front view by pressing 1 on the numpad, Z to bring up this menu here and choose wireframe. Wireframe allows us to select vertices and objects that might be behind. So you wouldn't be able to do this in, say, this one here, the solid view. That's what it's called. Yeah, because you know, it's all relative to your viewpoint, right? So if I try to do that, press B here, I'll only get the front. But if I'm in wireframe mode, we'll get the back too. Okay, now that we have one side selected, we can press X and then select faces. X always deletes pretty much there. Now that we did that, we can go to our wrench here, add modifier, mirror. So now, we only have to make changes of our face once. Because whatever's happening on one side is happening to the other. Just don't apply it until it's done. We're gonna go to our side here. I pressed 3 and then 9 to go to the left side. And then Control R to loop cut that side. And then Control R again right here. And now I think we have enough to work with. It's gonna be very low poly to start, but we'll add some vertices and faces along the way. But it's still gonna be relatively low poly regardless. Okay, so I'm going to go to edge mode and select these faces. I am holding shift while I select them. That's how you select multiple faces and edges and vertices and all that. I went to front view, and now I'm going to bring it in just like that. Oh, and always make sure that snapping is enabled. I guess I must have accidentally enabled it. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna go to our side here again and select the bottom this time. I'm gonna bring it up like that. Or, yeah. All this is very subjective too. Like, if you like your head to look differently, make it look differently. My only rule of thumb, is to try your best to keep lines straight. I'm going to go to the side view again by pressing 3 and then 9. I'm going to press Z, wireframe. I'm going to bring in the front of my head a bit here and bring in the back. There we go. Bring it in a little bit more there. Maybe like that. Now, I usually find myself with some sort of almost like a stop sign shape. And then work from there. That's usually what happens when I'm making a low poly face. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the top of the head, select vertex mode, and select the middle, and bring it up a bit. Oh, that's the thing. When doing some editing, you should be in Orthographic View. Now, to go into Orthographic View, you can press 5 on the numpad. And what Orthographic View does is it makes everything more two-dimensional. But If you want to make specific small changes, you should be in your front view or side view or top view. So we're going in we're going to select this here and go into our front view. Now I'm going to just bring it up a bit, right, like that. Yeah, on the z-axis. So press Z. All right. Now, when making a low poly, or even a head in general, there's a few things I should, kind of like rules of thumbs I want to teach you. And, you know, a lot of people will tell you that you have to learn, like, biology to model humans. I beg to differ, because, honestly, how I learned was through trial and error. And for me, that allowed me to, like, remember things a little better. And I'm going to teach two of those things to you. When modeling a head, gonna go to our side view here, press Z, go to wireframe. The part where the neck should be always goes in a little bit, just like that. Oh, select this vertex here too. There we go. And the jaw always comes out a bit. Go like that. There we go. Still doesn't look too great, but we're still making changes. Certainly starting to look better anyway. Another thing I'll do is grab this one here, this vertex, and this vertex. I'm gonna go to our top view, kind of bring it in a bit. Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna go to our top view again, and I'm gonna press S and then Y to scale it on the Y axis. And I'm gonna kind of bring the mouse inward a bit to, yeah, there we go. And this here, I want it to be more aligned with this. So I'm gonna click on this, shift click, go to the side view here, S, Y again. I'm also gonna bring all three of these vertices, 1, 2, 3, down a bit. Same with this one. That's what I mean, like a lot of this is very much trial and error. Bring this out a bit, because I don't like how it looks, but getting there. Getting somewhere anyways. I'm gonna grab these ones. Maybe bring them in a bit more. Okay. This one here has been bothering me, so I'm gonna go to our side view and maybe select up here, bring that down a bit, bring it in, there we go. Bring out the nose, where the nose should be. So I'm gonna click on this guy, and go to our side, bring it out. Oh, why is clipping enabled? I guess I must have forgotten to put it back on. Hold up a minute. I'm going to edit mode. There we go. I just corrected that. Okay. Going to bring this guy, these three here, down a bit. Maybe bring them in. Nah. Just down. These two can come in. There we go. The ear's a little bit out too much, so just gonna, there we go. And there, we made the approximation of a head. But there could be more. We could start texturing it now. Also, if you want to see what it looks like in a different way, you can right-click and go to Shade Smooth, which gives it kind of a more smooth look. This is bugging me now that I see it in the, I'm going to go to press 1 and then 9. Okay, maybe bring it down like that. There we go. Bring it in a bit. 1, 9. No, bring it like that. Now, I find the bottom here. Maybe this can be pulled up a bit. Just a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna bring these corners here on the left side, in the front view. Bring them in a bit more. We bring them, no. Yeah, that's fine. Going to go on the top here. Maybe press S, X, or S, Y, sorry. I always mix that up. No, I'll just bring it down a bit, just like that. Even a little. The closer you get to the smaller the grid gets. So kind of bring it in a bit here. I'm just going to grab this one individual vertice. Maybe grab this one too, actually, now that I think about it. Looks kind of potatoey, not my best work, but it does give you a basic idea as to how to model, basic shapes and whatnot. The fun part is we can add modifiers to make it more interesting. So I'm going to add a subdivision surface modifier. Boom. We now have something that looks similar to a high poly head. And with that, we can even, for an example, we're going to loop cut right here, bring it down. I'm going to grab this face. So if we don't have the subdivision surface thing applied, we can still make changes and sort of mess with it a bit. All right, starting to look like a duck there. So I control Z'd it, undid it. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video we'll be working on texturing, adding little details like faces, and the mouth and the nose, stuff like that. I'm gonna undo this subdivision modifier and even undo a lot of the stuff I did, just because we're working with lower poly stuff. Like, I just wanted to show you that that's an option, Alright. Later, Gators. Please consider joining my Patreon, and yeah, if you are a younger viewer, don't. Don't join my Patreon. And if you really want to, ask for your parents' consent first. Thank you. Bye.